myautism.com. One question I get a lot is, how do you homeschool? Especially because I have a child with autism and people just don't see how the two can go together. So today I'm going to take a few minutes, not too long, it's not going to be an exhaustive list of how we homeschool, but I'm going to give you a couple of the resources that we use, some links below, and some information about what I did at the beginning with my son that may or may not help you, and I'm hoping it does. So the first thing that I'm going to show you is a book that we've used for history, and we've supplemented this with history encyclopedias and fictional history to give a better concept of the norms and mores and societal culture around that time period. But it's a book series called The Story of the World, and they have 4 of them, and we love it. It's done in chronological order, each book, starting with ancient times, and it's not secular, it's not Christian, it's got a little bit of both, which I think is a good mix for learning in general, for our family anyway. One of the things that we use for math is Saxon math, and I actually bought Saxon 5.4 through Calculus back at the beginning of 2005 when they had just sold to Harcourt before the books had changed. So I can't speak for what the books are like now. However, they are a really good curriculum. The one thing that I liked about the earlier books are in the practice sessions, it tells you which chapter each problem is covered in so that you can go back if you're having a hard time and review it. However, by Algebra 2, that's no longer there, and that's been very frustrating for my son, and we've actually been looking into possibly a couple of other curriculums to see if they may be a better fit for these higher grades where a bit more explanation is needed. And, you know, after Algebra 2, this girl's done. Trig is not my thing, and there is trig involved in the Algebra 2 book. So, but then after that is advanced mathematics, and just to give you an idea of what the Saxon looks like, this is actually the solutions manual. It's the one that was quickest to grab on the bookcase, so that's what I'm showing you now. The books tend to be hardcover, and then the solutions manuals, the answer booklets, and the test booklets all tend to be softcover. One thing that has worked all the way across the board with all 3 of my kids, with only a slight modification for my son with autism, has been Spelling Power. It's by Beverly L. Adams Gordon, and the only thing that I've had to modify is for my son, this has a step-by-step process that involves listening and speaking and writing and all of that jazz. My son with autism, it's not going to do all that. However, if I tell him how to spell a word that he's missed and we go over it a few times and we use it in a sentence verbally, he's got it and we're done. So, and I can always go back and he's always got it memorized. Steel trap of a brain, love that. It's a gift, it's not a curse. So, and then the other thing that I really like about homeschooling is you can tailor it to your child's individual needs. So I have a now 18-year-old who will be done with school this year, and he has a very entrepreneurial spirit. He's been learning a lot on his own about how to build websites and how to do different things in coding and all of these different things, and we're just now getting to where he'll probably be on social media soon. So why not get him started off on the right foot? So one of the things that we ordered at the end of last year that had just come out was Gary Vaynerchuk's Jab, 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 Right Hook. And that's a book that we are actually, yes, using in our homeschool environment. And I think that in this day and age, it's kind of crazy not to. There's just so much going on via social media, whether you're an entrepreneur, if you're job hunting, if you need to pay attention to politics, if you want to pay attention to sports. There are just so many things going on social media that you can't ignore it anymore. So that's a good start for him to get off on the right foot. I'll have the links below. None of them are affiliates. I wish they were, because that would help support this site. However, I do want you to have that information at your fingertips so that you can check it out for yourself and see if it's something you'd be interested in. And I'll give you more reviews on more books and things that we use at another time. The one thing I did want to tell you that when we were starting out for my son with autism, we went, I think it was at Target, and got one of those placemats that they have for preschoolers, and it had numbers from 1 to 100 on the front, and on the back were blank spaces. And to do addition and subtraction, I would do colored Play-Doh in different colors, and I would make little tiny balls and put them in the squares. So 1 blue ball plus 2 red balls equals 3 balls. You know, that kind of thing. And that was actually a little bit time consuming, however, really effective for him to get a concept that he was not getting in school before we pulled him back out to homeschool. So that's what I have for you today on how we homeschool. And, you know, there are a billion reasons why we do, and that'll be a whole other post one day, or maybe a video. We'll see what happens. But I just wanted to give you like something to sink your teeth into for today, because that's the question I get more often than why we homeschool is how we homeschool. Hope you guys have a great day. Talk to you later. Thanks. Bye.